In this installment, we'll be taking a look at HDRI photography. High dynamic range images are gathered by taking multiple exposures of the same subject, usually using a tripod, and typically using a very short fisheye lens to capture a large, wide angle of view. Taking photos that are taken at different angles of the same environment allow you to create a panorama photo that covers a full 360 degrees of the environment. When taking these panoramic photos, using multiple exposures allows you to bring these items into mental4, into Maya, and use them as an HDRI photo. Loading these images into an HDR panoramic image editor, such as the very powerful and my personal favorite PT allows you to stitch the photos that you've taken together into a panorama, but also to create an HDR file itself. Once the program is finished, you'll end up with a panoramic high dynamic range image. This image essentially has a very wide range of information, from the very darks to the very brights. And mental4 will be able to use this as lighting information. Seeing that the sun here is the brightest thing in the image, it'll use the intensity of that brightness to actually light your scene. We'll be taking a deeper look at using HDRI in mental4 in a subsequent video, but we'll take a very brief look at how to create an image-based lighting node. In mental4, image-based lighting, or IBL, is found under the Indirect Lighting tab and is right above the physical sun and sky. We'll go ahead and create the node, and that places a very large sphere into the scene, which acts as the environment to the scene. With the IBL node selected, the attribute editor allows you to pipe in the HDR as needed into the scene. Go ahead and pick that HDR, and you'll see that the image comes in. And again, the high dynamic range of the image, which was compiled with PT allows mental4 to see that the sun is a bright spot in the environment, and to use that with Final Gather or global illumination as a light source. This allows you to use much more photoreal intensities in your environment to give you a more credible and higher fidelity lighting situation for your scene. In a subsequent video, we'll take a deeper look at mental4 and how to render with an HDRI as a lighting situation. In this video, we took a look at how high dynamic range images work and how to bring them in mental4 to light your scene. In a subsequent video, we'll take a look at rendering this scene with the HDRI.